What do a knight, a queen and a bishop have in common with Hyundai? It's not the start of one of my bad jokes. It's actually to do with design. So most companies make their different models look like Russian dolls, bigger or smaller versions of the same thing. A bit boring. But Hyundai is playing chess. Each IONIQ car is a different piece on the board with its own moves and own character. And this is the latest, the IONIQ Concept Three, which I think could mean checkmate for the opposition. Stick around to find out more. Yes, so meet the IONIQ Concept Three, soon to be known, I suspect, as simply the IONIQ 3. Honestly, I think this will become one of the key pieces in Hyundai's final chess set. We've had the 5, the 6 and the 9, great cars, 2 of them World Car of the Year winners, but none of them sit in the bit of the market where the big sales happen, mid-sized hatchbacks, and this, as you can see, changes that. It's going head-to-head with the biggest sellers out there. And this is pretty close to how the production car will look. I promise you. And it looks great, doesn't it? Oh, and it's being built right here in Europe, by the way. Good, eh? So let's talk design. And just in case you haven't noticed, it's not another SUV. I mean, that's worth celebrating. Now, I just asked Hyundai's Grand Master of Design, Simon Lowsby, which chess piece he reckons this most closely resembled. Do you know what he said? Go on, have a guess in the comments below, but be quick because I am about to tell you. So Simon said, if this were a chess piece, it would be the pawn. Small, nicely formed, with a big job to do. So talking about size, it's about the same length as a Kia EV3, about 10 centimetres lower. It's got that classic 5-door hatch style. Think big sellers like the VW Golf and the Ford Focus. But thanks to Hyundai's platform, the wheelbase is stretched, so you're going to get, as you can see, a lot more interior space. But before we check that out, let's go old car designer and discuss the design language. I'm not a designer at all, but I do think there is a lovely mix of shapes going on here. You can see some sharp edges from the IONIQ 5, the softer curves from the 6, but it's got that all-important character of its own. Now, it might surprise you to know that this was conceived to celebrate steel. Good old humble steel. Not the most obvious choice. And yes, it often gets criticised for being quite carbon intensive to make. But Hyundai is in a unique position. It produces its own green steel in electric furnaces. And steel itself is endlessly recyclable, so they have chosen to celebrate it with this. The first design concepts were actually made from folded origami paper, and this has carried through to the final car in the art of folding steel. And we're going to see more of this design language coming through in future production cars, and as I've said, the IONIQ 3 will look a lot like this. Let's talk for a minute about the colour scheme. Tungsten grey to celebrate the beauty of steel, and yellow glass. If you described this to me, I would have said no, never. Now I'm here and I see it, it looks absolutely brilliant. I do not want rose tinted glass anymore. I want yellow tinted, please. At the back, can I just say again, it's not an SUV. And you can really see that here. It's got this lovely slight slope to the roof, the angle on the rear screen, this brilliant Ducktail spoiler, again in that limey yellow. All of that is brilliant for aero. Don't think we're going to get this on the production car, but I think it will have something that looks a bit like it. But while I'm here, I want you to come down here and look at this, because these are speakers. How brilliant is this? So you would normally get, of course, the sound of the exhaust pipes, but instead you get twin speakers. We know sound is a really big deal for Hyundai. It's done fantastic things with cars like the IONIQ 5N and the 6N. It was the first car maker to really put that in mainstream cars. And I've been told that it is feasibly possible that you could be in this, you could be driving past another car. Of course, the car will sense that because of all the sensors on it. And it could just pump out the sound of you doing a burnout as you go past. Isn't that brilliant? It's so mad, so unnecessary, but so fun. And before you ask, yes, they are absolutely trying to see if this is something that they could put on production cars. And I think for me, it's what I really love about this car. It's got a sense of cheekiness, playfulness, a sense of fun. And I think that is something that is missing from so many cars these days. Dotted around the car are lots of little Easter eggs, little automotive treats that are there for no other reason than to make you smile, which I like. Things like this on the digital side mirrors. Smile, you're being recorded. This little chap there, that's Mr. Pix. Pix, pixels, IONIQ, gotta have pixels. He pops up all over the car and he's just fun and lovely. I like that. Smile to unlock. You know, just makes you smile, doesn't it? But the best one is at the back, underneath those dual speakers. May the downforce be with you. Oh, it's so great in here. Look, this is a very, very special concept car and it hasn't even been to the show it's going to yet, so I'm allowed to sit inside it as long as I sit and bubble wrap. So if you hear popping, that's what it is. Look at it though, it's so lovely and clear and clean and bright in here. I love the minimal feel. I love that yellow and grey that we get on the outside. But what I love most are the fun touches again. So push to start just up there. Eject driver, eject passenger. But what we do get as a hint of the production car are things like the physical buttons here that control, you know, the temperature, the climate control. Hyundai's always been really clever at putting in screens, but also putting in physical buttons. When you're looking at screens, that sort of just 100th of a second it takes you to glance down means you could be travelling 3 or 4 metres on a motorway at speed without really seeing what's happening. So what Hyundai's interior team have done is put all that information up here. Of course, this is concept car-ish. But when I spoke to Simon, the design grandmaster I mentioned earlier, he talked about the fact that they would really like to be able to reduce a lot of that in cars. Yes, there will be 2 screens, I think, in the production car that you can opt. But he talked about how he would really like just to be able to let people say, I don't actually want a big screen. I want a minimal, you know, bit of information, maybe something to sync my phone to. And that's where something called Apple CarPlay Ultra comes in, because this is likely to be one of the earliest cars to get this new Apple operating system that runs right throughout the car. It's really clever stuff. It's also going to be one of the first cars that gets the next generation of Hyundai's infotainment system as well. So it's getting a lot of really, really clever technology. And of course, you've got your pixels too here on the steering wheel that light up on this sort of checkerboard type thing and give you messages, ready. But it's the little design touches that I really love in here. You know, just like down there where it says, crafted with love. I love the way they've left the centre here open, where of course you would have had an ugly transmission tunnel. So you can see the battery cells. They've made a feature of them. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, it's just a really nice place to be in here. And apparently the production car interior is going to have a lot of this vibe with it. I just can't wait to see it. I really hope they keep this though. I think I sat in the right seat. Of course, we don't know anything about power and performance yet, but we'd expect it to use the same battery setup as the Kia EV3. So that would mean 58.3 kilowatt hour or 81.4 kilowatt hour battery packs. But this more aero-efficient body should deliver a longer range. The EV3 manages an official range of 370 miles. I reckon this, with its aero, could be capable of edging towards that magic 400 figure. Remember when we got excited about EVs that do 250 miles? It's brilliant, isn't it? It's likely to get a 400-volt charging system rather than the faster one you get in other models, which will keep costs down. And again, I expect it will come with vehicle to load, which means you can basically use the car as a mobile power bank.
Now we know that not everyone is shopping for ideas for a brand new electric car, which is why we've built our own used EV marketplace at electrifying.com. It's packed with great deals and information on things like battery warranties, so you can buy with confidence. All you need to do is scan the QR code on the screen and you can browse while you keep watching our latest video. Good day.
I've just spotted another Mr. Pix here. Love him. Now, should we talk money? No, we can't. It's a concept car, don't be daft. You know, we're not going to see the production version of this in concept form until way into 2026. But when we do see that, I would expect it to be in line with cars like the VW Golf or the Ford Focus, along with best EV sellers like the VW ID.3. Hyundai is serious about being a big hitter in the hatchback market here in Europe, and they know it needs to be priced right to win in that. So what do you reckon to Hyundai's mass market play? The car that could be the most important move in its chess game yet. The 5 was the poster child, the 6, the style statement, the 9, the heavyweight, quite literally. Then I reckon the 3 could well turn out to be the piece that wins Hyundai the board. Checkmate for Hyundai. So do make sure, if you aren't already, to subscribe to the channel and switch your notifications on to find out more about this car as soon as we know it.